Well, baby, I'm on it with a bottle of wine and an old dirt road, and you're ready to go if you want to. Hey, thanks everybody. Hey, thanks everybody for joining us today. Holiday Festival edition. Today we are with Libby McKay. She is with the Verges Holiday Festival and Tour of Homes.
Yes.
Thank you so much for joining us, Libby. How are you?
I'm well. Thank you for having me.
Libby, give us a little background on you. Where'd you grow up? Talk a little bit about your family and career.
Yeah, so I actually grew up in Detroit, Michigan, and am now here in Norfolk, Nebraska, which was a big shift for me. But yeah, I moved here with my husband, and at the time, our 3-year-old. My husband is a newscaster here in town, and then we now have 3 children who are all. One of them is a junior in high school, and then I have a middle schooler and a 4th grader. And yeah, so I grew up in the giant city of Detroit and have moved to rural Northeast Nebraska. And yeah, it's been fun though. It feels very homey.
Very good, very good. All right, let's jump in. Let's jump into the festival. Let's start with the dates and the times.
Yeah, so our festival takes place on December 10th, and it starts in the afternoon around 1 o'clock. We have a cocoa and cookie reception that sort of kicks off our day for us here at the museum, and then that leads us into our tour of historic homes. And so there are all kinds of beautiful examples of architecture and woodworking and homes that just have stories of various people that have lived in them here in our town. And so there are usually 10 of those on this circuit that people are invited to go and see. And then we have a tree lighting at 5:30-ish usually, because it gets dark enough here to do it then. So yeah, we bring out everybody into our Verges Park and go to our really big, we have this beautiful large evergreen there that we light up and sing some Christmas carols. And then in the evening, we get together what we lovingly call the Holiday Jam Band and have beer and wine tasting and some live music to close out the evening.
There you go. Now we're talking. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Where did this start? How long have you been doing this?
So this is our 3rd year with this festival. And it sort of started with taking inspiration from our giant evergreen tree. We had just talking out in the park, and it was like, wouldn't it be nice if we did something with these big, beautiful trees that we have out here? Because the park itself is almost 100 years old. And so we have some really just gorgeous mature trees back there. And so that kind of started the conversation, and we were like, well, we could do something. What would that look like? And so it sort of talked about what would be some fun holiday events that also tie in to sort of the history of our community.
Okay. All right. Now talk about your role in this.
Yes. Yeah. So I am the executive director here at the museum, at Elkhorn Valley Museum. And so, yeah, I kind of started getting all the people at the table to talk about what we were going to do. And then throughout the day, you can see me serving cocoa and baking cookies and running around making sure everything is ready to go. And I usually start the singing of the Christmas carols. Whether that is a good thing or a bad thing, I've yet to determine.
I'm sure that it's good. So, like, you're just in the park, you're like, hey, we should sing Christmas tree songs because we've got a beautiful Christmas tree. What are some of the hopes and the aspirations for the future of this? Obviously, we want to let the public know that you're invited. You can travel in for this.
Absolutely.
It's an annual event. It's going to grow. It's going to get bigger and bigger. It's going to become a tradition. It's going to become a generational tradition. Families are going to come home for this. As you go and you look ahead to that, what do you envision?
I would like to see us doing more with things in the park. So Verges Park is also home to the Detterman Cabin, which is the oldest building in Norfolk. It was one of the first settlers' homes. So I'd love to be able to tie that in. There's also one of the schoolhouses, one of the old one-room schoolhouses is out in the park back there as well. So I would love to tie in like some Christmas in the cabin and Christmas in the schoolhouse or other holiday celebrations as well. And doing some sort of a light walk in the park, I think would be great. We've been very fortunate in previous years to have good weather. You know, Nebraska weather can be sort of tricky come December, but so I think incorporating that would be great. And I think we also are really hoping to start adding some more philanthropic aspects to it as well. Just because we do intend and try to be very intentional and community oriented. And so we recognize that philanthropy is a huge part of our holiday giving season, right? And we are also home to the Johnny Carson Gallery here. Johnny Carson grew up in our town, and so he was very philanthropic to Norfolk and Nebraska, and his foundation continues to be so. And so we want to find ways to incorporate that as well into this event.
Yeah, absolutely. Take advantage of that for sure. For sure. All right, couple fun questions, Libby, because I am in entertainment, live music full time.
Yes,
I always ask these two, and I just like to survey. They're going to go in my book one day. So, best concert you've ever seen personally, Libby? Who would you say?
Okay, so this one I would have to say there's probably two, and for different reasons. One would be the first time that I saw Beck. When I was in high school, and Ben Folds 5, who was just coming out at the time, opened for them. So it was kind of like, looking back, it was like, oh my gosh. The other one would be when I saw Willie Nelson live. So those are probably my top two favorite. And part of that is because my dad was a huge like what we would now say classic country fan, right? So Hank and Willie Nelson and all of that. And so he used to sing those songs to me, like we would sing around the house and dance. So it was really neat to go ahead and then be able to see Willie Nelson live performing those songs. And it was an outdoor concert, so that made it all the more fun. And Willie Nelson's son came out and played, and everybody's like, oh, that's nice. And he is an amazing guitarist. So it was just full of fun. I think like family connections for that concert. And then, like I said, the Beck one was like the first one I went to as a high school kid. And I was like, oh my gosh, look how cool I am seeing Beck on this giant slide. I don't know, but yeah, good concert.
No, that's cool. That's cool. That's cool. Okay. Dead or alive? You could see one musical artist or act. Who would you see?
Oh gosh. I was thinking about this, and I think I would say Cole Porter. I think Cole Porter performing the things he wrote live would be real. I'm a huge Cole Porter. I have such a weird taste in music. I feel like it runs the gamut, but yeah, I think I would love to see Cole Porter live. Would be really amazing.
Yeah. No, I love it. I love it. Okay. Last question, Libby. How do people find out more about this festival and any of the other events that you have going on?
Sure. So the easiest way is to go to our website, elkhornvalleymuseum.org. And then we're also on Facebook and Instagram at Elkhorn Valley Museum. So we try to be really active with our social media accounts. So
very good. Very good. All right, Libby, thanks for joining us today.
Yeah, thank you.
You bet. Well, baby, I'm on it with a bottle of wine.